Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Spirit Talk Australia 2021.
I know.
We are back.
About time, isn't it? Yes, I'm Anne.
And yes, I'm Renata.
And welcome to Spirit Talk Australia Radio.
And on Spirit Talk Australia, we talk to some of the brightest and shiniest stars in the pagan community,
My phone on silent.
in the spiritual community. And what we are just trying to do is pass on all of these wonderful people to you so that you can start following them. And today we are talking to a gorgeous lady that I met through Witch and Willow there at Warners Bay, Tarryn Reeves. And I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what this lady does. So Tarryn is an intuitive business coach and founder of 4 successful businesses. She has helped countless women to create the businesses that bring them the financial and personal freedom that they are seeking. I think we need some guidance there.
We do. Mm-hmm. But we're almost a lost cause, though. Poor thing.
She teaches spiritual entrepreneurs how to share their unique message and talents with the world and connect with their soul clients and create a business that fulfills and supports them. Now, after years of following the traditional path, Tarryn set out to create a life lived on her terms and established her first successful business when her daughter was just 6 weeks old.
Oh, wow.
And I have to say, her daughter is a tiny little fairy. I have said hello to her many times, and she's like a little fairy. So Tarryn is brilliant at helping overwhelmed business owners turn their chaos into ease and is a huge believer in business without burnout. Now, we will be posting Tarryn's links up for you if you wish to follow, and we do recommend that you certainly do. And we'd like to bring on Tarryn to say hello. Hello, gorgeous one.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Welcome.
Really good.
How are you this evening?
I'm very well, thank you. I've got my peppermint tea, I've had my dinner, and I'm a happy lady.
Very nice.
Very nice.
We're going to be having peanut butter cheesecake in between the shows tonight.
Are we?
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Why was I not invited to an in-person interview then?
I'll send you a piece in the mail.
I'll bring a piece to Witch and Willow and you can have it.
Oh, sounds amazing. I'll hold you to it.
Now, by the way, Tarryn does a stack of workshops now at Witch and Willow. So for anyone that is local, jump into the page at Witch and Willow and check out some of the workshops that Tarryn is presenting. And I might get you, while we're talking about this, just to talk about what you are currently doing there, because I know that there are a lot of local people who might be very, very interested.
Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to see everybody. So I do kind of 3 different sets of workshops. I've got my women's nurture circles. I call them medicine circles because I'm a big fan of shamanic work and things like that. But what it essentially is a women's circle. So we come together once a month on the full moon and we sit in circle. We create sacred space and a safe place to be seen, to be heard, and to heal through how we used to do it ages ago, like our ancestors, all of that back in the day when things were more simple, right? So that's the women's circles that I do. And then coming soon are my pagan ritual circles. So we're talking, celebrating, Yule, the solstices, Imbolc, all that sort of stuff. So we will be choosing like a craft activity and we, might be doing a maypole or something like that, a wreath or a Yule log or things like that. So it's just depending on the season, because I feel like our Western society is so out of touch with how we used to live, and that creates that disconnect from Mother Earth and from ourselves and from that, calm that is available to us in the chaos, right? I'm also a womb keeper for the Monetising tribe. So I run the rite of the womb 3 times a year. And what it is, it's a rite of passage. So traditionally, it would be passed on when a girl first has her first period. But, that's not a thing that happens in our Western society. And so what it is now, what we've had to recreate it as is that it's a healing that's passed. The wisdom from my womb passes to whoever is in circle with me getting the initiation, receiving the rite. And as women, our wombs are where it's kind of like our cauldron of creation, as well as where we tend to store all of our baggage, all of our trauma. And if we don't go in and clean it out and start operating from that place, we can become very, very lost and sick and disconnected and unhappy and just not as powerful as we can be. So yeah, that's kind of in summary.
Yeah, wow. And I see so many women that I think could really benefit from that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's pretty powerful stuff. Yeah.
So are you local to Newcastle?
I am. I'm from Africa originally, but now I live in Lake Macquarie. So
Aha. Not far at all from Witchamillow.
Not far at all. I go there. I used to go there every Wednesday, but I banned myself now because I was buying too many crystals and oracle cards and things. I ran out of
Guilty.
room. Yeah.
Guilty. Damn you, Kelly.
It's just got such nice vibe, that place. It's just, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but also with the extension now, that workshop area is awesome.
Yeah.
We did a tarot workshop last weekend, and it was just a super space, really super space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the work that you do as
a coach.
A coach,
Yeah.
yes.
As a coach, the intuitive business coaching. Yeah. So as you mentioned, I started my business when my daughter was 6 weeks old. Now, that wasn't really by conscious choice, I suppose. So I got made redundant a week before I found out I was pregnant. And I had just come off the back of a big burnout from corporate. So I graduated from uni. I have a degree in criminology. I went into corporate, into the railway. I somehow found a job there whilst I was studying. And it was just such an environment where I just couldn't be myself. I put on this kind of persona, this mask, right? And obviously when you do that, when you're not being your true self, you're not doing the work that you're sent here to do. The universe kind of gave me a good hard bitch slap and was like, this is not okay. And so I got diagnosed with PTSD on the back of the trauma from living in Africa and having to migrate here, which wasn't a choice. And then I also got diagnosed with chronic depression and major anxiety at the same time. So I didn't go back to corporate. I got a part-time job, and then a week before I found out I was pregnant, they made me redundant. So the fire kind of started in me then, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. Am I allowed to swear on this show? Probably not.
No, hang on. Fuck yeah.
Like, I am done with this shit. Like, I am not going back to corporate. It is not an option. That is not who I'm supposed to be. And so I was like, what skills do I have? You know, and I started out really safe. I started out as a virtual assistant. I was like, I'll just do this little bit of admin. And long story short, I scaled that business right up. I now have 11 subcontractors inside of that business, built all of that up, had it all running, systems, procedures, all of that. And then I was like, well, what am I really good at? What lights me up? And it's teaching other people all of these business systems and structures, but also in a way that is fully in alignment with your soul, with who you are, with the work that we're sent here to do, because I truly believe that we all have a purpose here. And especially working with business that have impact to make the world a better place, whether that's, you know, through plant medicine or yoga or psychotherapy or whatever your thing is, and you're here to do that. I believe that creates a healing inside of the world, inside of the web that is us as a human race. And then it also gives permission for other people to do the same, right? Because how many people are unhappy in working for someone else? And we're told our whole lives, like, you know, you go to work, you earn money, you come home, you have 2 days off on the weekend, you repeat, and then you die. And I was like, oh, hell no. Yeah. Not on no, thank you. I did not sign up for this. So it's about going, well, okay, I have a choice, right? But of course, you've obviously still got to earn money. So there's strategy behind that as well, yeah?
So do you look at balancing? Because one of the things that I have found with a lot of my readings that are happening at the moment is these poor women who are stuck, like you said, in these jobs that they hate. They find that in their latter years they have no support because possibly their husbands have left them or they've divorced, and they're so afraid of change, any sort of change, because the likelihood is that they will miss everything and they have to earn enough money to support themselves. And so they are at crisis. They are truly at crisis point. And a lot of them are really so wanting to get into that spiritual nature of themselves because they've been waiting their whole life, and they seem to not be able to do that, when they're in their 50s or 60s. And it's just such a shame.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's like a remembering of who you are, a coming home to yourself. And it takes courage to take those steps, right? Because we're so conditioned and we're so used to being told who we can be, what we should say, what we should wear, how we should act, what is and is not acceptable. And, I'm totally down for the law and all of that sort of stuff. But we're talking about who you are as a person, because on a tribal level, on a biological wiring, anything that's going to get us kicked out of the tribe, out of the community, means death, right? It triggers that very primal response, because let's face it, we may think we're super advanced, but the system's still outdated, okay? The system is still the system, right? And it's about recognizing the patterns and getting to remember who you are. And it's a whole process to remember, and it takes courage, and it's scary as hell. But it's having those people and those like-minded people in that support network and tools and resources to just take that next step. We're not asking you to transform into a phoenix overnight, even though that's who you are at your core, this beautiful shining light. We are all that. It's all the stuff that we've packed on top, all of these stories we've told ourselves that put us into this box. So I say burn the box to the ground. Set fire to that shit, because you cannot shine bright if you're hiding in the box. And if you just need to peek out a little bit and then go back in and then peek out, and then you take that one step and the next step and the next step. That's how journeys are taken, and that's what life is.
Yeah. And I've just got an example here from Sue, where she was stood down from a job that she loved for the past 49 out of 52 weeks. And she's had lots of soul searching to do during that time.
That hurts.
Gorgeous, gorgeous lady who's been helping us out with things as well. So,
and by the way, if anyone has any questions for Tarryn that come up,
pop them in.
Please pop them in. She's here. Grab her and grab her information.
Yeah, and look, we're facing ourselves, because we're older women and we have our passion love job, and we are finding that there is the possibility to make this our career and our income, and we have people coming at us going, no, you can't do this. This is out of the normal. You can't do this, and attacking us, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we're learning a lot.
Yeah, when people are doing that, it's because you're triggering a fear in them. So whatever that fear is, that's all it is. So it's going, okay, Sally Sue, that's nice. Thank you for your uninvited opinion, but I'm still going to do me, right? And you will lose people along the way. You will, like my dad watched one of my live videos. Bless my dad. He watched one of my live videos the other day. He's like, Tarryn, you cannot swear on social media. That's highly unprofessional. I was like, Dad, but that's who I am. I'm sick of this, like pantomime of life. I'm not playing anymore. I'm opting out. I'm doing it my way, and it was so scary for me to do that. But my world didn't burn to the ground. All of those horror stories that I told myself would happen. Yeah, I lost a few friends, and by a few, I mean lots, but were they even really friends then anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Yeah. But we have been taught from our beautiful Lady Tamara, who is our, not sponsor, I'm not in Alcoholics Anonymous, what do we call it? Patron.
Spirits Anonymous.
Our patron.
Yes, that there are power words out there, and one of those power words is fuck, and fuck off is a very powerful set of power words. So
it is.
I thank Lady Tamara for that.
Yes.
I use it often.
That
Try
was
not to use it
the
that
word
much
I
here,
got in
but
trouble for using on social media. But anyway, it's what it is. I'll do
it
me.
is what it is.
It's
It's one of my favourite sayings
it's
too.
it's also often looked at as being quite threatening if women get together and they
Oh,
go
yes.
into their little camp zones
Mm.
and all meet together in workshops and things. It can frighten other people off as if, oh, wait till this woman, discovers her power. That's going to
Mm.
really be incredibly bad.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Well,
so
it comes back to like way back when, right? So women used to be the wisdom keepers. We were, the keepers of the well, and the men had their place, because I don't view the new feminism as man bashing at all, because the divine masculine is just as wounded as the divine feminine. We've all got work to do, right? But way back when the Celts and the Druids and the witches and all those cool people were hanging out, the women were the wisdom keepers. We would go into red tents and we were consulted for our wisdom and our connection to the earth and being able to talk to the spirits and nature and things like that, right? And then along came the Christian church. And don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against religion, but
I do.
I
from
do.
my understanding, well, I don't really, because I love history. You do. That's okay. It's like, for me, it's a case, that's fine. Don't throw it in my face. You keep it over there, kind of a deal for me.
Yeah.
And they came along, and women are powerful when they're rooted in that connection, right? In that true knowing of who they are in connection to Mother Earth, Grandfather Sun, Grandfather Fire, the wind, all of that, right? And so they made it scary. They said we were witches, we were burned at the stake, we were tortured, we turned on our fellow women, all of that sort of stuff, right? So it's created this wounding that's generationally being passed down the lines. And now we don't even remember who the hell we are.
Yeah. This is true.
It's only really been 2 generations or 1 generation where we're starting to get a release, really. And I'm even finding that people of my age, because like I'm 150, I got you before you got me.
Looking
That
down
She
good
nearly
for
spat
150.
a peppermint tea there, Renata.
that we're still finding that this is hard work to move away from that old stigmatized way of thinking. Because we have still been taught by family to be quiet and to be at home and to do the cooking. There's the little angel.
Here's my little one.
Oh, no.
Say hi. Wave to everyone.
Hello.
She's drawing.
Hopefully not on the walls.
Mum and Dad's house. It's okay. I'm moving house at the moment.
Now, there's a question there from Sue for you too. How difficult is it to move on from corporate? How do you know you're on the right path?
Big question.
Yeah, big question. So it is difficult to move on from corporate. I'm not going to lie, because like I said, our whole lives we're taught that that's acceptable. That's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to go and get this big job, work for someone else and be really, really happy about it and grateful, right?
Yeah.
And when that's taken away, it can cause a bit of an identity crisis and be like, well, what do I do now? Your whole daily routine is thrown out. The people you used to socialize with at work are thrown out. And if you were like I used to be, my whole self-worth and identity was wrapped up in my job title and who I was and what I was doing. And when that's taken away, it can hurt, and it can hurt hard. So it's not easy, but it's absolutely possible. Hundreds of women, hundreds of men are doing it. And even though it's not easy, the journey is absolutely worth it. And how do you know you're on the right path? It's when you really connect in and start to know who you are, and you will make thousands of mistakes. Like I can't even tell you how many times I've fallen hard in my business journey. And then I want to throw it all in. I'm like, this isn't working. The world is terrible. But you take stock, you feel the feelings, like you don't bury that stuff. You work on it and go, well, that's interesting. What's the problem here? What have I done wrong? and well, not necessarily wrong. You go, what can I learn from that? It's like, well, I don't want to work with that type of person, taking on misaligned clients, or actually, I don't want to be a virtual assistant. I'm better off being a business coach and managing people to do the virtual assistants for me. Or, you know what? My passion is graphic design. I don't want to work. I have a client at the moment who's just come out of corporate. She's still working for them. We're 2 sessions in, and she works in a car sales company. And I was like, well, let's talk. And I asked her some questions. We worked through it. And she's like, I'm really passionate about graphic design. And I was like, well, that's what we're doing then. And she's like, oh, no, I can't possibly do that. Well, she's already landed her first client. When you realign with that passion and you're on fire and you're on purpose, the universe arrives to the party with a big damn bang.
Yeah. We are so used to following routine and so used to sticking with sometimes what doesn't serve us that some people think that, when they come out of corporate that they must go back into something that's very, very similar or stick with what they have. They have a huge knowledge base that they have gathered over the years of doing the work that they do. Sometimes it might just be a little tweak and being able to work for someone else, or taking just one step left or right instead of following that one path. But people tend to catastrophize and go, well, I'm losing everything. And it's just, it's hard. It's hard.
It is hard. But if you take the seriousness out of it a little bit and go, well, I'm just going to try this. What is the worst that can happen? This is one of my favorite journaling exercises, and I hate journaling. Hate it. But this one is gold. I write down a list when I'm really like in my fear and I'm wallowing in there and I'm like treading mud in the quicksand of fear about something. I write down the absolute worst thing that could happen. The absolute worst. And then I leave it for a bit and I, let my ego have its little party. And then I come back and I go, okay, well, what's the best thing that could happen if I take this next step? And just by doing that polarizing of the extremes, it's like a spotlight shining down and going, oh, okay, well, it's not that bad. Like nobody's going to die or nobody's going to lose a limb or, well, I don't know, maybe they are. Depends if you want to become a stuntman or something. I don't know. But, you write these out or it's like, oh, I could create an incredible life. I could earn more money than I've ever dreamed of. I could make big impact and inspire other people. I could have time to work around my family. That's the good stuff, right?
Yeah. I was going to say something and I've completely forgotten. Christy Lee says, how do you know what direction to take in life? And
that's what I was
thinking about.
Okay, you think of what you were thinking about. Christy Lee, how do you know what direction to take in life? Well, there is no right or wrong answer here. So I can't answer this for you, but I can tell you how to find out. Okay, so I would start with, what does your ideal day look like? And within the realms of reality, right? So it's not like, I'm just going to do nothing and watch Netflix all day and eat chocolate ice cream. It's like, you still need money in this world. That's fine, in this 3D reality. So what would really light me up to make money from? Okay. And what would you, something's happened.
No, it's okay. No, I muted it. I said, can you please pass me the glass? I didn't want to. Keep going.
I hope it's not vodka. So what am I really good at as well? Like, what am I good at? What do I have the skill set for? Because that's a safe topic, right? We all have this base skill set that we've been taught to do and we're really good at. And it goes, well, what part of that skill set do I enjoy doing? What part do I not enjoy doing? And break that apart and go, okay, well, my friends tell me I am X, Y, and Z. You have these skill sets on a personal basis. And then I also like to look at what inspires me. If I could do anything, if money wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, what would I really want to do with my life? That's the end goal, right? So for me, it's starting a world-class anti-poaching unit in Africa. So in order to do that, I need money, right? And I need people to know about it. And I need all of those things. So I've created businesses that the end goal is that bigger impact, right? And I get to have a hell of a lot of fun along the way. I get to choose who I work with. So it's about understanding yourself, Christy Lee, what it is that drives you, what it is that you want, what inspires you, and really getting in touch with what you're here to do.
I also find that surrounding yourself with the right people is really important.
Absolutely.
So if you have people around you that are always dragging you down or saying you shouldn't be doing that, or what do you want to do that for, or why are you getting out of this loop? We're all whinging and in misery. Stay with us. Then you kind of never get anywhere. You've really got to pull yourself away and find the people that are doing what you want to do or be what you want to be, and learn from them. Associate yourself with them.
And if you don't have anyone in your immediate circle who does that, then go and find people on social media, find podcasts that light you up, find, local events and things like that, and just go. Yeah. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. So I'm directing a lot of people that I see to the women's circles now and to the meditation groups. Because they're likely to find like-minded people there that will make them feel good about themselves. A lot of these people that are really stuck, their biggest thing is, like you said, they've lost their identity. They've lost this thing of, I don't even know who I am and I don't know what I want.
Yeah. It's a really scary place to be.
Yeah.
And that actually relates into Peter's comment here. I relate to work being my identity. Now I'm not working, finding it difficult to what makes me tick.
Yeah.
And look, this isn't an overnight thing. It's not an overnight thing. It could take a week for some people, could take a year for some people. It's no journey is the same. No human spirit is the same. Just keep at it. Don't give up.
Yeah, and it's digging deeper every time. People think all of this stuff floats on the surface, but all the real shit goes down to the bottom, and you've got to
just when you think you've done the work. Yeah. Just when you're like, I've done the work, I'm all good. There's another layer, and it's like, here we go again. It's like Shrek and Donkey and the Onion, right? It's like,
I use it all the time.
Yeah.
We're going to peel back the layers and they keep coming.
Yeah.
They make you cry.
Oh, yes. So much crying. Rescue Remedy, breathing into paper bags. Part of the journey.
Lady Tamara, what do you do when everything is great and successful, but you are pulled in another direction?
Well, let me ask you this, Tamara. Whose version of success are you living then? If everything is great and successful, whose version of success is that? Because it's obviously not yours if you're feeling pulled in another direction, which, by the way, is brilliant. Follow that like a bloodhound to the scent. And I'm not saying like throwing your job and, say, kick the boss in the balls and be like, see you later. Like, I'm not saying that. You take that next step. So if you've got every second Friday off, start exploring whatever direction you're referring to that you're pulled in. And it's that one step. And then once you build something up, I'm talking business now, I'm not sure what direction you're speaking about, but then maybe you can go part-time in your job and then focus on the other days here. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, like 1-2 years later, you're full-time in your very own business.
So obviously we're talking about people who have fire in their belly and they want to create and they want to do something different, because there is certainly a certain amount of people that they get to a particular age and they're quite happy to sit on the back step and drink a wine at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and watch Netflix and whatever. They're not the people you're really talking to. You're talking about those that are really finding themselves in a space that they still want to create. They want to leave a legacy. They want to leave something of themselves, and they're transitioning. So this leads me to a question. What do you find at the moment that you are hearing is the biggest stumbling block for women in their business or in starting their business?
Their self-belief. 100% their self-belief. Everything that our mind tells us is just a story that we have made up based on information that we have experienced in our past, right? So it's like this mind is just continually reading us this novel about, you remember that time when remember that this must be true because this happened, right? But the beauty of of it is we can take our whiteout and our pen and we can cross it out and go, actually, I'm writing a new story now. Thanks very much. That was an interesting ride, but now I'm going to write my own story. And you're going to cross things out. You're going to want to burn pages. You're going to want to throw the book across the room. And that's okay. That's part of the journey. But we need those people as well in life who are completely happy where they are. That's amazing. What I'm so on fire about is the fact that so many of people I know and see, 90% of the population is not happy.
Yeah.
What kind of a way is that to do Earth School? Like, it's like, oh yeah, let's all just go and be really, really, really miserable. That sounds like fun. Let's do that. No, thanks. That's what I'm talking about.
So Portable Tree is asking, how do you get the pay that you need?
So you'll obviously have there's a difference. There is a difference. But you obviously need a certain amount of money, like I said earlier, to survive in our 3D world as it currently is, right? And that's absolutely normal. So you will have a job, I'm assuming, coming, corporate, retail, whatever that is, where you get paid by somebody else, you get paid by another business, right? I am not saying just quit and do nothing and just hope that, you're going to make your crystal grid and it's going to manifest all the money you need. It doesn't work that way. It's about having a very strategic plan, a business plan. I'm not talking about those old, outdated business plans, but it's going, okay, well, this is what I need to do. This is the base amount of money I need. What skill set of mine can I package up in a way that people are going to want to buy? Knowing who your soul clients are as well, because I'm not here to serve everybody. I will be here to serve a few, and another business coach will serve some other people. And then, you two are here to serve other people. It's about knowing your soul client, knowing their pain points, what they're struggling with. And do you have the skill set to fix their problem? Not fix their problem, to guide them to fix their own problem. Okay, because we've got no business fixing other people's problems, really. They need to fix themselves. So, and then it's about packaging up, putting a full marketing strategy behind that, and letting people know this is what I have and this is why you need it, and that's how the magic happens. In a very condensed answer.
Yeah, I was having a similar conversation with a lovely lady this afternoon. And I think another problem that women have is that they continue to try and be everything for everyone. And you can get very lost in that, because there's, especially if you're starting your own business, there is a certain amount of time that you need to dedicate to really working that. And sometimes you have to pull away from other things. It's not to say that those other things aren't as important, but there might be a different priority that sort of comes about. Yeah,
definitely. And we are totally capable of juggling all the balls, and we are totally worthy of having it all. There's nothing that says, I don't see any rule book that says we can't have it all, right? So I have a 4-year-old. I have a husband who works away a lot. I run 4 businesses. I run a team of 12 subcontractors. I work with people all over the world. And you can have it all. I take Fridays off, full day for self-care. It's non-negotiable. I like watch Netflix. I go and I'm off to the day spa tomorrow. I'm mega excited, just saying. And Wednesdays are my days with Autumn when I'm fully mum, because she doesn't go to school on those other days. I am present. I'm taking her to swimming lessons, all of those sorts of things. Right now, that's not to say I do it perfectly every time. That's not true. There are some times where I need to juggle and work gets in the way, and then the mum guilt gets in the way, and my husband's not happy because I haven't cooked dinner or things like that. But it's about educating your family about, this is what I'm here to do. Please support me.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about financial support necessarily. I'm talking about energetic support.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is something that we all forget to do, and it's not just women, it's men as well. We don't give ourselves that me time off.
Yeah.
I know Renata and I are so guilty of this. We are working 24/7, and it's because we love what we're doing. We are absolutely passionate about it, but we need to stop every now and then and just go, chill.
Yeah.
Chill.
And like you said, it's easy to do when you're passionate about what you do. I'm a self-confessed workaholic every day of the week, but I can get like Godzilla if I don't have my me time. I'm funnily enough, I'm an introvert, and my cup gets filled with being on my own. And when I come out of my cave, I'm like the hermit. When I come out of my cave, I usually set everything on fire. I spew forth what I have to spew, and then I've got to go back into the cave again and be like, nobody talk to me, nobody look at me. I'm alone. Turn off all the lights.
Yeah. We can definitely get bombarded by too much energy, and women work from that sense of feeling what is around them as well as everything else. And if you're quite sensitive to everyone else's energy, you can get really down very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Now, you also said that you've got 4 businesses. So what are your other businesses?
I've got the intuitive business coaching, and then I've got the virtual assistance and web development agency on the side of that. So that's all your tech, your web design, all of that sort of fun stuff that needs to happen for online businesses, podcast management, things like that. And then I've got the Happy VA Academy. So it's teaching men and women how to start their own virtual assistance business or how to scale up to agency level if that's what they want to do.
Wow.
And then my latest, most exciting project is my publishing house. So I have opened up a publishing house. It's called Four Eagles Publishing, and we publish solo books. We do tarot cards. We do multi-author books, all of those sorts of things, because I am a massive word nerd. I have a literal love affair with books. So it was just the next step for me. Yeah.
You should see what's behind our backdrop. It's just books.
Yes. Heaven.
Yeah, you actually said to me that you had a little bit of a competition giveaway for people today.
Yeah, I thought it might be fun to get everybody in.
So I'm going to pop that there. It's all come out as one big
Post,
but there it is. Win a free spot in Phoenix Rising, Powerful Women Who Rose from the Ashes. I wonder if I can pop that up onto there. There we are.
It's very
to claim
confusing.
their place. What you need to do, copy and paste the text below and share it on your social medias with the accompanying image.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to send you the image.
Shall we maybe put this up on on your
I'll put it in the group. Oh, yeah, I can put it on my page and people can go there and, yeah.
And
so what it is,
it's
a multi-author book project. So you would win a chapter, so to tell your story in this one chapter of the book. And it's called Phoenix Rising, Powerful Women Who Rose from the Ashes to Claim Their Place. And it's basically an inspiring collection of stories from women who have experienced that dark night of the soul, whether that's being made redundant, a divorce, death of a child, illness, whatever it is, that kind of event that leaves everything that you know burnt to the ground. And you're kind of sitting there going, what the hell? Like, what the hell just happened? And you sit in that dark night of the soul, in that dark space, but then you remember who the hell you are, and you regenerate and rise up out of the ashes and start to do amazing things with your life. And it's these types of stories that I'm collecting inside of this book, because there are people who aren't yet at that place where they haven't yet risen from the ashes. And I want to reach out our hand and give them that little tug up and go, come on, sister, like, you got this. Yeah. And for businesses, it's specifically aimed at spiritual business owners, because, I mean, that's not to say that you can't be in it if you don't have a business, but a multi-author book project is an amazing marketing strategy for your business, because at the end of your chapter, you get a bio, a headshot, and links to your socials and websites and things like that. And if people are reading what you have gone through and they resonate with what you're saying, well, they're going to come and find you and they're going to want to do business with you, whether that's oracle card readings, Reiki, tarot, whatever it is that your gift is, or business coaching, whatever it is.
Now, you said you had a special story about the name that you chose for this particular business.
Four Eagles Publishing. Yeah, I thought that would be a good one to share, because it shows trusting your intuition and taking the leap even when you don't know what the hell you're doing. So my spirit animal that shows up for me on a regular basis in the physical form, as well as visual, like spiritually, is the eagle. And I was driving along, I was playing with this idea of the publishing company, and I was like, oh, that would be really fun. But Tarryn, really, you've got 3 businesses. Do you really need another one? Come on now. And I was like, okay, universe, please show me an eagle. I need to see an eagle. And then I will take the leap. And I didn't see an eagle that day. The next day, I was driving along and I saw an eagle flying over it. I was like, oh, that's just coincidence. No, not looking. That's just coincidence. And then I got to the store, drove back. I saw 2 eagles in the sky overhead. This is the same day, within like an hour of each other. I was like, oh, come on now, really? Like, I can't do this. And then I got home and I walked through the door and there was an eagle on the TV. And I was like, okay, I said I was going to do it. I asked for the sign. You've given me 4. I'm just going to take the leap. I'm just going to do it. And that's how I started 4 Eagles Publishing. So even though it didn't make sense, even though I didn't have the finances to invest in the training and the strategy to build up a full publishing house, I did it. I did it anyway. And it's been very rewarding, very scary, but very rewarding at the same time. So it's just that example of, if you ask for the sign, if you ask for help and the universe sends it, you got to take the leap.
Now, I was also having a discussion today about signs, and what do you think about actually saying to the universe, send me a sign, but actually being specific about what you want to see, rather than just saying, send me a sign?
Because then if you want to see that sign, you will see anything and say, oh, well, that's the sign.
Or is it the sign?
Is it really the sign?
Yeah. And well, you've just answered the question right there. You know, you've got to be specific. Otherwise, the ego mind will logicalize, that's a Tarrynism, its way out of, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to do, because it's trying to keep you safe. There's nothing wrong with the ego. It's actually a very vital part of our human design. But it's just trying to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Right answer?
We've had some battles with people who I talked to who have been specifically throwing ego.
Yes, our ego is out of control.
In our face.
And it's just because we're promoting ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You threaten them, obviously.
Ego is not a dirty word.
Ego.
Skyhooks.
Ego.
It is something that keeps us safe.
Yes.
It makes us an adult. It makes us mature, because we tend to understand our value, and not having an ego can actually leave you being very vulnerable and open to everyone, and not being able to say no. Because that ego is not operational. It's been doused in petrol and put on fire. So, you know, there is a sense that there is a very healthy way to have ego. Of course, it can get out of control, but, you know, it's just like everything else.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. I agree.
Very interesting. So what's the big project coming up for you now? What are you hoping to achieve in 2021?
Oh, goodness. That's like asking me to like put one thing out there. The answer is, who knows, Renata. When I think I'm like calming down and I'm, you know, leveling out, I'm like, this is okay, I'm happy with this, I go on this another crazy tangent. It's just who I am. I'm multi-passionate about different things, but I do not envision another business. I would love to focus on the publishing house, and I would also love to bring out a group coaching program inside of the business coaching, like spiritual business blueprints or something like that. And it's going to be a full like 6-month coaching program where I take people from the very start requirements of starting a spiritual business right through to, you know, implementation. So we're talking how to package up your stuff, how to find your soul client, how to even find what it is that you want to do. We're talking about mindset. We're talking about money blocks. We're talking about systems that you're going to need to have in place, how to get your brand to embody what it is that you're trying to talk about. So all of those sorts of things. It's going to have all of the things that I teach my one-on-one clients inside of this group coaching program and self-taught course.
So when you
Yeah.
talk about spiritual business, as opposed to maybe something like that's corporate or more mainstream, what are the big differences that people have to know when they go into a spiritual business?
Yeah. So
That
to
they,
me,
that they
spirituality and
need
life aren't
they
separate.
yeah, they need
Yeah.
to give everything for free. That's the main
Oh,
thing that they need to know.
oh, you just, okay, ready for a rant? Here it goes.
Let's
This
wave
is
the
going to
red
be my
flag.
rant.
Woohoo! You're
I've even
singing
just
our
taken off
song.
my shoes. For the love of God, riddle me this, riddle me this. I saw this on a post the other day. I feel bad about monetizing my spiritual gifts. Okay, great. I hear you. I see you. That's great. I understand where you're at. But how in the hell do you think that you're going to buy organic produce so that you can be healthy and have less of an impact on the earth? How do you think that you're going to be able to purchase a car that runs on eco fuel? How are you going to make conscious decisions with where you spend your money if you aren't making any? Because when you are coming from that scarcity and that lack, you're not doing yourself or the earth any favors. When good people make good money, we don't go and buy 7 super yachts, 10 Mustangs, 3 mansions, and I don't know, some cocaine. That's not what we do with it. We start not for profits. We write books so we can influence other people. We start, movements like Ronnie
Yes.
Khan with, what's it called? Oz Harvest and things like that. You cannot do that if you don't have any money.
Yeah.
So then all the people who do have the money, the monopoly, who have, all these very big, rich corporations, they go and do whatever the hell they want because they've got no competition. They've got no other benchmarks.
Oh, we're hearing you.
I was actually surprisingly calm for my youth.
Oh, we get told all the time you shouldn't make money from the dead. Shouldn't make money from the dead.
Do the dead really care?
And what are funeral directors meant to do?
That's the best comeback ever. I love it. Yes. No, look, that is just coming from people who are too stuck in their fear. And you know what? That might be their journey this lifetime. And that's absolutely fine because we all have a journey. And, as far as I know, there's only the one. But you never know. We might reincarnate, which means we might come back with that fear attitude. Who knows? It's just the journey, I guess.
So I think Christy here is asking the question about coaching on a personal level. So you do offer one-on-one coaching, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got the website scrolling across the bottom there, Christy Lee. If you go to that website, you'll be able to find out more information about that.
Yeah, or just send me a DM on Facebook. I love having chats to people. It's all good. I'm actually very friendly despite my fiery attitude. I've been vaccinated. I don't bite hard.
Fiona is actually our next guest coming up next time.
Hi, Fiona.
So she'll be on very, very soon.
Exciting.
So, yeah.
That's nice to know.
Surprise.
Hi, Fiona.
I'll tell you about that later.
Thank you. After cake.
Sometimes we just work on the fly because we're doing so much at the moment that sometimes we're just flying from one thing to the next. And I think we need personal assistance, Miss Anne.
I thought we had one. I thought it was Christy.
She's not even on. She's not even here.
Now, look, I know there are a lot of people who are feeling very overwhelmed in the current situation, and they're overwhelmed by their financial situations, and they're waiting for the world to return to normal, which it's never going to happen. What would you suggest for them right now? What's some tools you could give them to start getting them to stand upright again?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey, 2020. Look, I actually really think it was a good thing. I think it was the earth giving us all a bit of a wake-up call and saying you can't keep operating at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And it forced a lot of people to go inwards and look at their shadows. So I think now is the time to be doing your shadow work. Start looking in those scary places. Start taking a look, because you need to bring them into the light in order to see what they're about, learn from them, and then let them go. because they all have a lesson. There's no point in carting around all of your junk on your back because it's exhausting. So whether that's meditation, a women's circle, taking a 10-minute walk outside, changing your diet, tapping, getting a regular, healing from a Reiki or, trusted healer, any of those, reading inspiring books and podcasts, be mindful of what you're putting into your brain. Do not watch the news. Do not listen to the radio. It's not necessary. So just be mindful of what you're feeding yourself, literally and physically.
So you just
literally and mentally.
You just mentioned tapping. So some of the people that are on here may not know what tapping is. Could you just run through very quickly what tapping is?
So tapping is like emotional freedom technique. So it looks very weird, right? I'm not going to lie. I used to do this at swimming lessons. Everyone thought I was that weirdo, which I totally am. So it's okay. So whenever you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed or something's come up for you, there's a great guy on YouTube, Brad Yates. He does some really good videos of this. So go and Google him. So if you type in tapping for anxiety, for example, there's certain meridians on the body that when we tap on them, kind of like short circuit our system and start to rewire it. So sometimes you can just tap like this and then, you go to your different points and Brad will show you the points. It looks really weird. Looks like you're hitting yourself in the head, but and then you come down here, under the eye, here, under the armpit's a fun one. But it's this process that you do, and at the same time you're repeating like safe mantras, or not the same thing over and over, but it's like rewiring the story. Yeah, and it is very effective. I hated it at first because it was bringing up a lot of my issues, so I stopped doing it for a while, but it is very effective.
Yeah, I've been doing a bit of the Denise Duffield-Thomas work, and she uses a lot of the tapping. So
she's a big tapper, yeah.
Trying to embrace it.
Yeah. But you know what? Tapping might not be your thing, and that's okay. You find something else.
Yeah. So any last questions, anyone that you might have for Tarryn? Because we are coming to the end. We've just got a few minutes left. So if anybody has a last minute question that they would like to put up, other than that, you will be able to find Tarryn on all of the links that we have put up with her picture with regard to this particular talk that she is here doing for us today, which we thank you so much for your time and your energy. Thank you so much, and I see you all the time. I love you.
It's been a pleasure.
But yes, of course, if you feel that you are in a position where you might be wanting to start out on some sort of a spiritual business, or you are in currently a spiritual business, or you are a female entrepreneur that wants to dig into your own spirituality, contact Tarryn for that information that she can supply for you.
Yeah, beautiful.
I feel that you've helped a lot of people tonight. We are getting
a
lot of comments coming through saying what you're saying is resonating to them, and it's really hit home. It's given them something to think about. So you've actually helped a lot of people tonight, which is wonderful.
And
so thank you.
Yeah, we're asking people also share this post.
Because there's more people that can benefit from what has been said here. It's recorded. Just share it out there.
Yeah. And I'm always up for a good chat, so feel free to chat away on my Facebook.
All right, well, we will officially say thank you. Good evening.
Thank you.
I'm going to
everyone.
pop you down into the waiting room. We'll come back and talk to you in just a second and say good night to you. Oops, pressing the wrong button. There we go. So, wow, I think the timing of that talk tonight was very needed even for us.
Yeah.
Because we've been working on a lot of our blockages that this whole business of the trolls and everything that's been happening has brought up a lot of stuff that we've realised that we've got things that we still need to work on. So everything that Tarryn was saying was resonating for me as well. So thank you everyone for joining us. We will be back on at 8:30 p.m. tonight on the Anne and Renata Frightfully Good page for the Tarot Night. So please join us over there where we will swear more. And
Are we behaving ourselves for Lady Tamara?
Yeah. I'm in trouble once already. All right. So thank you all, guys. We'll see you over on the other page. Bye.